Glad you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise as we are looking out over downtown Indianapolis. It's like clear skies right now, even though, like Julia said, some rain is moving into our area, but downtown looks nice for now.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, it's so weird. We get two different shots. It looks really pretty, and the one on the camera I'm looking at, nice blue background there. But we do want to get you a little better picture of the weekend. So maybe a little bit of rain, depending on where you are this morning, and then later today.
Yes.
But get that out of here.
Yeah, and I think we're going to do just that. In fact, you know, the big weekend days, because we have so much from the Pacers to the 500 festival activities, Grand Prix, and you name it, we've got it going on. I do think today's the day we get wet, and especially when you're coming home from work and school for many of you. I wanted to begin here at 6 o'clock, though, with a look at what's going on around the country and put everything in perspective. Notice to our west, Central Plains, temperatures are really chilly this morning in the 40s. We are darn close to 60 here at Indianapolis at 59 degrees, 53 in Crawfordsville, 45 in Rensselaer, Washington's at 58. 55 in Richmond, and in Muncie it's dry, but they're in the 50s as well. Now notice earlier this morning we had a little bit of light rain that moved through portions of Clinton and Tipton counties. Now that's down around French Lick. If you are headed to the airport, we wanted to let you know that this is not weather related, but the problems at Newark continue. 2 United flights have been canceled to Newark, that troubled airport today. Washington Dulles delayed. Everything else on time, and if you're headed out there, we think that overall it's going to be nice. 60 degrees by 10 a.m. And how about this? For the 3rd day in a row, we're going to break 70 degrees. That'll occur later this afternoon, but with a chance for showers and even a rumble of thunder. Now, I'll have the timeline for all of that coming up, but so far in the weather aspect of traffic, it's good out there, Matt.
Yes, great start for your Thursday morning. The question is, can we hold this? Hopefully. You see a lot of green on the map. Traffic's flowing just fine. We want to touch on some road closures that we, of course, have. Just remember, bridge closed there until October 1st. US 52, that's just east there in Shelby County. They're close to State Road 9. And then technically they're asking folks for large truck traffic to just avoid US 52 from State Road 9 all the way to State Road 3 in Rush County. Then we have the road closures, the ramp closures, everything in the westbound direction in Greenfield. And I can show you that camera in Greenfield. You can see that sliver of some of the red and oranges off there in the distance when you look off in that eastern sky. But they are making progress. It's not just dirt anymore there on I-70. They're starting to put some material down. Julia?
Well, a devastating story we want to get you caught up on that we had as breaking news last night at 11.
And this morning, police are searching for the driver accused of killing a child and hurting 2 people in this crash. This was on Indy's southeast side near Raymond Street and State Avenue. Investigators say a driver blew through a red light at the intersection and slammed into another car. They say the driver also hit a man on a bike in the crosswalk with his child riding in a trailer on the back.
Police who were on the scene tried to help that young child. Medics did rush the baby to Riley Hospital, but doctors were not able to save them. And at last check, the man who was riding the bike, who we believe is this child's father, is in critical condition.
The one witness that we did have is it wasn't even close. I mean, the light had been red for quite some time and green for the other direction. The bicyclist was in the crosswalk, actually crossing the street legally in the crosswalk with the walk sign. So it wasn't one of those things that it was real close and they were trying to beat it. It was a solid red and had been for quite some time.
As you can hear from that officer, they were talking to witnesses on the scene, and they are still relying on witnesses that saw something to come forward and help them find the man this morning. We know the driver of the other car that was also hit is in critical condition this morning.
Well, we are looking into a motion this morning just filed in Hendricks County that would shield records of the man charged in a crash that killed 2 young children in Plainfield.
This comes after police say that a 65-year-old man was shot and killed after firing a gun at deputies who has a connection to this case. Anna Chalker is in studio walking us through that and why prosecutors actually filed this motion. Anna, good morning.
Good morning, ladies. So the Hendricks County prosecutor says they were sealing these future records in this case in in the interest of public safety. So the suspect related to this is 25-year-old Sidoni Pettis. In February, Pettis was allegedly fleeing from police in a stolen car, where he smashed that car that was carrying another car with 3-year-old Eris and his 2-month-old sister Iris that you see on the screen. The victim's car burst into flames and both children died. On Monday, Mark Votter, the great-grandfather of those children, was shot and killed by a Hendricks County deputy outside of the courthouse. Officers say he pointed a gun at deputies who were transporting prisoners into the courthouse. Now, Pettis had originally been scheduled to be among those prisoners on Monday, but his hearing was rescheduled the week before. In this motion, the prosecutor says Votter was waiting with a handgun on the wall outside of the courthouse, apparently hoping to shoot Pettis. The prosecutor also says if the records would not be sealed, this could create a significant risk of harm and, quote, could endanger the safety of the defendant, other inmates, law enforcement officers, courthouse personnel, and the general public. The prosecutor is moving to hold all future pretrial hearings for Pettis remotely. The next one scheduled for next Thursday, May 15th. So coming up at 6:30, we talk with a defense attorney about the circumstances of this motion, but also talk about how this could impact the public who wants to view this case and follow it.
It almost feels like it's complicated. It was already a really heartbreaking situation,
sure.
Anna. Thank you.
Well, this morning we are checking to see if charges have yet been filed against a former daycare worker in connection to a massive exploitation investigation. Brownsburg police just arrested Gabriel Garner for child molestation and child exploitation. Police tell 13 News Garner formerly worked at Main Street University for Kids. Brownsburg police are working with DCS and Child Advocacy Center Susie's Place as part of the investigation. They do ask any families who think their child might have come in contact with this man and been a victim to call DCS's hotline. A Daleville former teacher and basketball coach is now accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a student. These court documents reveal the 27-year-old man allegedly kissed the student on multiple occasions in his office after school hours. The teacher also allegedly approached the student's mother and told her he was in love with her daughter. Daleville Community Schools confirmed to 13 News that teacher has since been fired.
This morning, the ACLU of Indiana is suing Governor Mike Braun. This is over a provision that would give him full control over Indiana University's Board of Trustees. That provision was added into the state's budget bill. Before that, IU alumni would choose 3 board members, and then the governor would choose the rest. But now Governor Braun would elect all 9 board members. The ACLU says that changing that is unconstitutional.
Pretty easy to understand. The question is, here you have 5 public universities all allowing for input in trustee selection, and now IU's been cut out of that, and there's no reason to treat IU differently.
Now, an IU spokesperson says that they would not comment on pending litigation, but they confirmed that the alumni election for the board would not take place. The governor's office also declined to comment on this lawsuit. Now, last week, Governor Braun did answer some questions about this recent move.
It enabled a few people to actually determine 3 board members, and I don't think that is real representation. If it was more broadly ascribed to, it would be different.
This lawsuit wants a judge to allow that election to continue while a court decides whether this new legislation is constitutional or not.
Well, we are getting some new insight this morning from the IPS Mental Health and School Cultural Task Force. This group held its first public meeting last night after its formation a year ago. The task force stemmed from an incident where a teacher allegedly recorded students fighting, even egging them on. Well, now members say they spent the last year getting the right community leaders in place. So now that group did not take any action last night, but did explain what their mission is going forward. The task force will use data and focus groups to get a better understanding of the culture within the IPS district.
This morning, we're hearing from leaders at Newfields on how they plan to move forward. Lamont Booker took over as president and CEO last October, and his hiring came after a stretch of upheaval for the art museum. The previous CEO left abruptly in 2023, and then several members of the Board of Trustees resigned. That all came after a racially insensitive job posting, and it gained national attention in 2021. Well, Booker touted the organization's recent accomplishments and resilience.
Museums are an absolutely essential pillars of a healthy and vibrant society. Especially in times of uncertainty, we have a responsibility to be an exceptional civic partner and one that earns and continuously maintains the trust and respect of our community.
Well, Newfields leaders also talked about growth in revenue over recent years, and the new CEO says that they're expanding its hours. In fact, Newfields will now be open on Mondays in this summer in an effort to better meet the needs of guests that want to visit.
Well, the good news, we want to show you some of the road work that is happening to repair all those downtown potholes. Crews were out yesterday. You might have seen them. They were fixing parts of Pennsylvania Street from 11th to Vermont. They posted some of these pictures to social media. Now, city leaders are asking drivers probably try and find another route for the next couple of days, and especially be careful if you are driving in these work zones.
And in just a few hours, city leaders will talk about this year's plans for more of those types of improvements on the roads. The 2025 capital infrastructure budget calls for DPW to invest $268 million into transportation and some stormwater projects. $1 billion will go towards improvements just over the next 5 years. That event starts at 11 out at Hendricks Park.
Well, we are getting closer. The greatest spectacle in racing is just now about 17 days away.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably an exact match there. And there are several events that are leading up to the race. Let's look at it. May 10th, we've got the Grand Prix and the 500 Festival Kids Day. Then May 23rd, Carb Day.
Don't miss the parade on the 24th. And then, of course, the big race, Indy 500, is on May 25th.
Well, this morning there is a trade deal in the works with one of our nation's largest trading partners.
Coming up this morning on Sunrise at 6:15, we're going to tell you more about a deal the Trump administration announced could be coming from the Oval Office later today.